Welcome, I'm Mike Miller, Mike's Creative Woodworks, LLC. Today I'll be giving instructions on how to make your own custom cup. The custom cup kit can be used to make cups for a 12-ounce soda and beer can, 16-ounce tall boys, also water bottle, Deer Park Ice Mountain, or other 16-ounce bottles. But for today we're going to be focusing on a 12-ounce can, standard soda beer can. There's a few things you will need to make this custom cup kit. As of now, I'm only producing 3 colors: red, blue, and brown. At the end of the video, there'll be links to where you can purchase these kits. You also need a lathe drill chuck if you do not have a drill press, and a good bit to drill the hole out with. I use a 2 1/8 inch bit. You're going to need calipers, ID, and a divider, scissors, ruler and a pencil, 5-minute epoxy, and something to mix it in. I use a popsicle stick to mix mine with. 5-minute epoxy. The reason I use this, I haven't had one to fail or come apart since I started using it, so I highly recommend that. Sandpaper. I start out for 180, 220 to 320, then I switch over to a non-moving buffing pad. Okay, and your choice of what tools you want to use to remove the wood: gouges, parting tool, etc. And you're also going to need a wood blank. This wood blank here I've had turned rough for a while, and this started out for 4x4, 6 inches long. I drilled my hole 2 1/8 inches, 3.5 inches deep, and I slide up on a tenon on my blade. I turn it round, or as close around as I want to, and I also turn a rough tenon on the end of it. Once this is done, I set it up on the shelf. A couple months, I got to run inside my house, and the moisture rate drops down to 10, 11, 12%, or even better in most aspects. You're also going to need something to finish with. Okay, I use a raw linseed oil. When I get done with my project or my cup, I actually dip it down into a bath of it, and I set it out. I let it just drip off of it, and I come back a little bit later, wipe it off. Then I let it sit for a day, then I come back and I buff it. It turns out really beautiful. The ring comes out to a beautiful shine. You got a beautiful sheen on the wood, and I couldn't ask for more. I've tried others, but I guess it's up to your preference. Alright, now you've got your custom cup kit. The first thing you want to do with it is take the koozie out of it, take your soda can, and slide it down inside of it. It's very important. It needs to form to the can, because when you finish product, on the inside of your cup that you're going to turn is going to be 2 7/8. Okay, and when it forms to it, it's going to slide in there just perfectly for you. Alright, we've covered the basics of it right now. We're going to move from here over to the bandsaw. We're going to cut this off a wood blank, a 4x4, 6 inches long. And after that, we're going to move over to the drill press and drill a hole. Alright, we're over to the bandsaw now. I've got me a sled I built. Okay, I've got it marked off 4, 6, and 8 inches. We're going to cut us off a section here 6 inches long. I'm going to trim off one end to get it square, so I won't have any problem with it. Now we're going to find our center. Grab your ruler, your pencil, make an X in the middle. Alright, we got our blocks. We're going to drill a hole. We're going to move over to the drill press. Okay, we're at the drill press. Okay, I've mounted me a vise on mine. Okay, so I can hold a 4x4 block, and I'll make sure I keep it in there. That way I don't mess it up. Okay. Line it up at the center. Tighten it down. Lock it in place. And drill your hole. Okay. This is a 2 1/8 inch bit, Irwin single carbide bit. And it's drilled over 100 holes, and you can see how it still cuts. Okay, we've got our hole drilled. Now we're going to move over to the lathe to turn it around and to put a tinning on the end of it. We're over to the lathe now. We're going to take our wooden block, slide it up on the tenon that I've got turned. This tenon's been used many times. Okay, bring your tailstock up, pin it down. Get a quick spin on this for adjustment here. Alright, now we're going to remove the wood until it's round. Alright, now it's not really round, but it doesn't really matter. You're just trying to get as close as you can so when it dries more symmetrical. We can take a little bit more down, but we're going to go on to the next step. Now, of course, this piece right here has got a little bit of greenness to it, so it's going to go to the shelf. Alright, I put the other piece back up on the shelf, and I got a piece of beech here that I've been saving for this occasion. It's dry, which I set it back up over top of the tenon, and we're just going to true this up, because when we clamp down on this, we're clamping down for good. I should do it on the tenon. Excuse me. Okay, we're going to take the tenon out. We're going to flip our piece over and clamp down on it. Make sure she's good all the way around. And when I say tight and tight, tight. Now this piece is going to stay on there until it's finished. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to turn it back to round. Alright, now this piece of beech is really a beautiful piece of wood. Got a little spalting in it, just very little poking out, but it should turn out good. I've got my divider set at 2 7/8 inches. When you do this, you're just trying to find an ideal mark. You want to start with your left side, just touching it. Make the other side matches up. And adjust it where you need it. There we go. You need a darker line, take a pencil, and touch it up. Now this is the inside where you're going to bore to. When you start getting close to that mark, don't go any farther. Get your ring, you're going to start making sure it slides in. You don't want it to be loose and sloppy, you want it to be snug. There you go. Okay, you don't want it sloppy, you want it to be snug. Alright, I'm going to finish homing out the inside. Alright, we've got it homed out now, and we're going to measure, make sure we're good. Okay, I take my ruler, I just slide it in, take my finger, mark it, bring it out. We're just a hair over 3 3/8 inches. That'd be okay. 3 1/8 inches is a good spot, no more than 3 1/2 deep. If you go deeper than that, you're going above the ridge of the can. Keep your finger in place. Trying to stay out of the way here. Mark it down here. Now that's the bottom of your cup. Now we're going to add a 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch, or you can add more, it's up to you. I'll leave right about a 1/4. I got it there, now I'm going to mark it. That's going to be my bottom. That's where I'm going to use my parting tool. Okay, the only reason I go ahead and do that, that tells me it's actually my can part. Slides down into it, and that's going to be my bottom. Okay, now we got our ring. Okay, it fits good and snug. Now we want to make sure the can slides in and out good. I got a koozie that I've used just for this. Slide the koozie in. Slide your can in. Now the can should slide in and out fairly easy. Okay, If it's too snug, just remove a little bit more wood. Alright, now take your ring and slide it over top. Make sure you're happy with where the top is laying at. If you think you need to go a little deeper, then take a little off. Okay, so we're good on that aspect. We're going to glue it up now. Alright, I've got the 5-minute epoxy. I squirt a little bit out. It takes very little to make this. Usually going to have a little excess left over, at least I always do. Okay, take your, however you want to stir it up. I use a popsicle stick. I just stir it up. It don't take much. Okay, I'm going to take my ring. I got another popsicle stick inside my sandpaper. I'm just going to go around this here real lightly, just to scuff it up just a little bit. That's all we need. Alright, now you can put this on your wood, or you can put the epoxy on your ring. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the wood for this purpose today. Just put a little bit on there, that's all it takes. It don't take much at all. That's probably too much there. Alright, take your ring, slide it up in there, it's good and snug, and just spin it just a little bit. It's going to get tight real quick. Okay, I got it right here. Just go on the inside, make sure you ain't got no excess. Hold the ring tight, and you're in good shape. Move this out of the way. Bring my tenon up. Okay, I've got me a little round disc block here I've got made up. I put it up to the tailstock, bring it forward, lock it down, and put just a little bit of pressure on it. Okay, it's good and dry now. It's on there good and tight. We'll go ahead and turn the wood down till it's flush with the ring now. I'm going to go ahead and sand this. I'm going to get it sanded down almost all the way, then I'll come back to you. I got to turn on the dust collector while I do this. Alright, I've got it basically sanded down now, all the way down to the 320. Sand it right over top of the ring. Now we're going to go into our buffing pad here. There we go. Got a nice sheen to that ring. Alright, now I've got this taken down about an inch here at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper. I'm just going to touch that up real quick. Alright, now I didn't mention earlier, but the inside, you do not want to sand it. You want that little bit of extra friction in there in order to hold your koozie in place. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to separate it. Okay, I'm going to use a gouge here, a small one. This is what I prefer to use. You may use whatever tool you desire. Slow it down just a little bit, start to get thin. Alright, now you see the can starting to wobble just a little bit. Come over and just stick your finger inside of it and your thumb on the other side. Prefer to do it this way. And take your gouge and go straight into the middle. Okay, it didn't come off as pretty as normal, but you can see what I'm after. It gives you your center, okay? We're going to take this over to the other drill press, and I got a 1-inch Forster bit in it. We're going to drill out the center. We're over to the drill press now. Okay, all you got to do is line it up to the center. Keep me a little cushion down here because I want my right against the metal. There you go. Hole in the center. Next step, we're going to put it in the bath of linseed oil. We're over to my linseed area. Okay, quite simple. Put it down in there and give it a good spin. Okay, make sure it's saturated everywhere. Alright. Okay, take it out and let it sit. Half hour, 45 minutes, hour, or even a couple hours, whatever you desire. Come back, wipe it off, buff it up. Here we go, we got it buffed up. Okay, the only thing left to do now is to cut our koozie, put it inside of it, put our beverage inside, and enjoy our custom cup. Piece of ambrosia maple. Okay, now we put our can into our koozie earlier so it'll form up to it. Okay, these are 4 inches tall. Okay, I generally take about a ½ inch off. Okay, it all depends, you know, on how deep you make your can. 3 3/8 inches. Okay, take about 5/8 to ½ inch off. I always like to leave a little extra. That way it tucks in there better. Slide it down into your koozie. Push it down in there. Push it down. There you go. Slide your can into it. Your own custom cup. Alright, stay tuned for the links on where you can purchase your own custom ring, and I want to say thank you for visiting Mike's Creative Woodworks.